That was the fastest I ever got cleaned up for you guys. I was working on my car while I was watching Red Panda. What's going on, guys? Vega here from SerpentX Special Forces. If you're new to the channel, my name is Vega. The channel is called SerpentX Special Forces because that's the name that I've carried for so many years. This channel's been around. I do kind of primarily focus on crypto, but not just crypto. I do tech stuff and stuff like that. I've been hearing a lot of questions on both Chump Change's stream and Red Panda stream about thermal pads, and I wanted to make a couple things kind of clear. If you have a caliper like this, so you can get this really cheap. You know, Pittsburgh is like a brand from what do you call it, Harbor Freight or Ace Hardware or any hardware store. You can actually, you know, turn this guy on and you can measure using this tip right here how wide, you know, the distance between the back plate of your PCB and the back plate and your PCB. Or if you do tear down your card, you can use this end to kind of figure out how thick the thermal pad is. For example, this G lid right here, of course we got the packaging and everything, but if I close that as tight as I can, we can see that says 1.6, so it's about 1.5 millimeter without the packaging. You know, thermal pads, what I would recommend is G-lid, which is what this is. Really good. I think it's 17 watts per meter Kelvin, which is a really good thermal efficiency. Or Thermal Grizzlies minus pad 8. Those are really good as well. What I do though, and you don't have to do this. If you're not one to tear down your card or you're worried about tearing down your card, I understand. I've been tearing down hardware for the longest time, ever since Nintendo. You know, back then Nintendo, not replicated Nintendo. I've been tearing down consoles, hardware, GPU, stuff like that. So I like to tear down and find out how things work and kind of go from there. Now this is an AMA stream, so you guys can ask any questions that you like. I would do my best to get back to you. If you want my attention, you can at me, you know, like at SerpentXSF, or send a super chat, either or. But yeah, got the opportunity. At any given moment, my wife can be busting in those doors. I don't have a studio or a barn like Red Panda Mining, no offense, brother. But I stream from my bedroom because that's where my main system is. Which, by the way, if you haven't seen what my main system looks like, there it is. It is the ASRock X570 Tachi Razor motherboard, Ryzen 5900X, bunch of Corsair goodness, RGB, MSI Trio X 6800. Not the XT model, but the non-XT. And then right down here, you can't really see it, but right below the video card is an Enterprise NVMe SSD, which is what I've been using to do my plots when it comes to Chia. So yeah, I have everything on lock due to curse word FE layout. Underclocked. Okay. Yeah, that sucks. Try to avoid cursing in the live chat. It doesn't bother me. I would try to avoid cursing during the live stream, just because I have monetization turned on and because I want, you know, all age groups to enjoy mining. But yeah, the FE, so FE cards, so it's kind of a catch-22, right? So the FE cards, you know, you can get them knowing, like the 3060 Ti, 3070. All right, I won't have to worry about it being LHR, but of course they're being sold at a premium right now. If we try to go to eBay.com and try to find a RTX 3070 Founders Edition. Let's compare real quick. So let's sort by, I always do buy now and then lowest. Otherwise, you can do auctions and then buy ending soon. Read description. All right, so there's a 37. That's actually not, hello. Yeah, I thought so. There's no way that would be there for that price. All right, let's keep looking. 849 sealed. But then the biggest issue is, all right, we know this is a 3060. This is not a 3060 Ti. So that means it's going to be LHR. But is it the first revision where we were able to break past it using the 470.05 driver, which Crypto Mikel and myself covered, as well as many others? Or, let's see, 3060, 3070 Ti. All right, we know that's LHR. Here's an XC3 Ultra. All right, and this is another question that a lot of people had during the streams is, how do I know if it's LHR? So with this EVGA card, we don't have any packaging info that tells us it's LHR or anything like that. But if the seller put this right here what we can do is see, so EVGA, serial number, model number, whatever we can get our hands on. I'm pretty sure there's a couple dashes in there. Dash, I think it's something like that. I could be wrong. But basically, we can find through the manufacturer's website if it's an LHR model or not. And you're not working with me, are you? All right, let's go to EVGA. And it's really a trials and tribulations that you're going to have to go through to try to find out, is this an LHR card or not? Honestly, I don't think it really matters if it's LHR or not, because what's going to happen is eventually, yes, Ethereum. And so here's the PN right here. So 8G P5, what do we have? 8G P5, 3755 KL. 37, so that's 3767. 3751. We're looking for 3755, which is right here, and it is an LHR card. And that's the hard part about buying on eBay, is these guys may know, or they may not know, or they may not even put it on there, and then some miner tries to pick it up and like, oh, I'm gonna get the full hash rate, it doesn't say LHR on it, and then you get it and then you're not, and that's selling for $1,000. So you got to really do your own due diligence and stuff like that. Sometimes you can actually identify and be like, oh wow, this card is, you know, full hash rate, it's pre LHR. The problem is the scalpers know that, and they will wreck you on pricing. Like I've been in some of those channels, and they are straight up like, target these cards because miners want them. So they're stealing all the cards at MSRP or at lower cost, and then upselling them to get, you know, their $300, $400, $500 profit, specifically because they know miners want these cards. But then if we go try to find a Finder's Edition 3070 that we know is not LHR or anything like that, watch this. Automatic price up, right? Automatic. But we all know these are not LHR. So we just jumped from somewhere in the 800s, maybe 900s, all the way up to $1,200. Just because the scalpers or the individuals selling those cards know that miners want them, or they can get the full hash rate for it. I mean, we got to think, what was the RTX 3070 MSRP at launch? I already forgot, it's been so long. $499. Founders Edition was $499, maybe $550, we'll say that. It's being sold for $300 over for LHR models, and then what? $700 over traditional MSRP for scalper pricing. So absolutely ridiculous. All right, let me look up some questions here, throw up some crypto numbers for you guys. Thank you for everybody who came over from Red Panda Mining. Hey man, started mining with a friend. So I believe Djoric. So you and a friend started mining, both putting 1.5K, got 5 GPUs, so 3060 Ti, 6800, 6700, and 2 RX 5700 XTs. Good job. Getting about 270 mega hash, 660 watts first month. But notice that night my ETH per day doubled up during the day. It's $17, and from 1 a.m. to 7 a.m. it's $36. Is that normal? Yeah, so it depends on how you're reading it. Whatever utility you're using or API that you're using to read, like if you're using Awesome Miner numbers may be skewed because of the API calls or whatever service they're using. So they might be using what to mine, coin calculators, different utilities to identify what the price is. And when the price fluctuates or the numbers are wrong on that system it's calling to, then yeah, it will mess up your numbers. What I would look at is when you're on Ethermine or whatever pool you're looking at, 9 times out of 10 they actually have something. Like you can see here right now we dipped, right? And we're gonna dip again because we're on the system that has the 6800. But there's a couple dips in here, but consistently I'm staying around 760, 770 mega hash consistently. And then that will give you your good numbers if you let the pool run for a while. And you see here, if this is what's fluctuating, talk to the pool operators or whatever pool you're waiting on. I have a pending payout. Oh, see, gas is up. So now I could switch that over to Polygon Network. Woo! Why did we shoot up from 60 Gwei to what? What? Hang on a second. What is happening today? It's Sunday. Usually gas is lower on the weekends instead of traditional market times. Ethereum, gas fees. Let's see here. Which one's the one I like? Let's go to gasstation.info. Holy crap, man. What in the heck? What is going on? Why is gas so high right now? Alright, I'm going to have to adjust that with my wallet. I'm going to put that to the side. But the point being, what I was trying to say is, use the pool to really verify. If you're using some type of calculator or software, it would kind of throw you for a loop. But it varies sometimes. It is normal, yes. But if you're looking at the pool and that's the thing that's fluctuating, maybe talk to the pool operators, get on the Discord, whatever. Disc or drum, are you ex-special forces or are you just trolling? So I was prior Army. I'm not going to talk about my history. Military lifestyle, military raised. But yeah, there's personal details in there that I'm not going to go into. I respect and love our forces. Disappointed, I'm not going to get political or anything like that, but disappointed with what's going on now. But that has no bearing on cryptocurrency and tech. So, anyways, lost 6 people with that question answered. Whatever. The first already. So you guys are arguing about who was first? Okay. Chancoin, hope you're doing well. 3090 only goes up to 112 mega hash. Will thermal pads increase your hash rate? So Jeff, yes. 3090 and 3080, anything really with above GDDR5X, thermal pads will help out, especially keeping thermals low so that way you can get that extra hash rate. On the 3090, when Nemesis, matter of fact, I gotta remember his channel. What is it? Hot Rods. I think I got it backwards. Yeah, this guy, Crypto and Hot Rods. Nemesis, we did some live testing of his 3090, the EVGA model, in fact, and adding thermal pads did improve his hash rate, or replacing thermal pads. And he does teardowns as well, just like me. He actually works on some FPGAs. I do not have FPGAs, so he's a hardware nerd. Just like myself, like we really nerd out on PCB components, SMDs, how things are designed, traces, stuff like that. So yeah, if you can, do you have the Founders Edition, Jeff? Because if you have the Founders Edition, be careful. Those cards are a little bit more, much more harder to work on. But yeah. All right, so I can tear down, but there's a warranty sticker. So Panther, the question about the warranty sticker, Gamers Nexus covered it about it a while ago, but if you're here in the States, or actually I think if you're here in North America, actually most countries, there should be a right to repair, and we call them out all the time. We call them out all the time. The sticker should not stop you in repairing or optimizing or making your GPU better, but you have to go with whatever your local government says. If you're here in the States, though, North America, tear that sucker off or just unscrew it. They can't do anything. Even if you send it back with an RMA, they can't do anything. And I've done that before. I've tear down cards. The sticker was torn up because I, had to take it off. And they did the RMA, the RX 590 actually, and the 980 Ti, both of them. As far as recently, they have no grounds to stand on when we have to right to repair our own stuff. So Trix, could you please help me out? As I was on Red Stream and he had to go, so he couldn't answer my question. What was your question, Trix? Did I miss it? I don't think I missed it. All right, so let's see here. You guys, if you want to ask questions, put at me or send a super chat, either or. Only send a super chat if you got the money to do so, though. Can it play Crysis? Yes. Not very well, but yes. Dark Inversion asks, what are your thoughts on Raven? Well, I love Ravencoin. One of the reasons I love Ravencoin, I mean, yeah, it's dropped down inside the coin market cap thing, right? So, I mean, like, where is Raven in all of this? Let's try to find it. It's 64, right? It's been hovering around this $13 or $13. I wish it was $13. 13 cent, 12 cent range. But the biggest thing for me is they're very supportive of the mining community. I love Ravencoin. I've been a proponent of Ravencoin. I've been mining Ravencoin. And I do believe that as Ethereum switches to ETH 2.0, we will see more users come over to the Ravencoin network and mine, and actually it's becoming profitable on AMD GPUs. Let me switch gears here real quick. And if we look up, let me turn on everything, because I do a monthly stream of what was the most profitable cryptocurrency to mine. It is a look at the past to help us draw conclusions on the future. So if you're interested in that, I also do monthly builds. Feel free to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay up to date for when those releases come out. But you can see here, like if Ethereum was out of the question, we got Ethereum Classic, Ergo, and Raven. Those are the top 3 coins that I would say most of us would switch over to if we're not already switched onto. And Ravencoin, yeah, it's not the 500 that I was making per day with only 3 GPUs, but it can be profitable on the AMD series as well as the Nvidia series. If we switch over to, let's say, the 3080 Ti, you can see Ravencoin still there. So Ravencoin is a coin that I feel is going to get a blessing, or that I believe will get a blessing. I could be wrong. None of this in this video is financial advice, but I do believe that Ravencoin could get the blessing of the hash rate. And once difficulty levels out, once everybody switches over, we'll see how the profits turn out. All right, so Henry, why are we not seeing much love and content on the 2060 Super and 2070 Super video cards? So only because the sort of 20 series to me was meh. I have a RTX 2080, then they came out with the 2080 Super. I didn't upgrade because it was meh. Those cards are decent, and especially now because you can find them a lot cheaper. But here's the thing, right? Let's say, for example, let's look for a 2060. Actually, let's go 2070 Super. Let's look for one. All right, so Russian Federation. What's up, my Russian family? $200. So that's $400 for that card to ship. $540 for that card to ship. Yada yada yada. Most people are going to look at this and look at the 2070 Super performance and, believe it or not, go to a different card. They just will. It's unfortunate, but ray tracing isn't as prominent or a main driver for buying these cards. But other people would be like, hey, if I'm going to spend around $600 something or more, I might as well get X, or I might as well get Y. What is a good option besides this? Well, it really depends on your budget and what the market conditions are right now. But I mean, if you're able to find a 3060 Ti that wasn't $1,200+, then maybe. It's I doubt we'll be able to. But here we go. 3060 Ti LHR, about $200 over, or 3060, or RX 6600 XT. Like, everybody wants the newer stuff. That's basically it. Let's just leave it there, Henry. Why are people not choosing the 2060 Super or 2070 Super? Why are they not getting much love? There was some content done on it from some of my colleagues, but realistically, it comes down to everybody wants the new shiny, the new hotness, right? When a new car comes out, people buy the cars because they want to be seen in that car, because they want that gratification of having a new hotness. But yeah, I feel bad for a lot of the people that sold their 2080 Ti's, because Maverick Mining sold my 2080 Ti today. A lot of people sold their 2080 Ti during the 3080 launch, expecting to upgrade to a 3080, only to get stuffed by the scalpers and the lines in the stores, and then not have either GPU and no card to put in their system. So I feel bad for them, but I'm glad, Maverick, that you were able to put it together and timing-wise get it done. How much you sold? I'm not sure what you're asking. 2060 Supers is sweet. 2060 Supers are pretty good. Have you ever used PK3? Pearl? I believe you're asking if I ever use PK3. Depends on... Peyton, I think I showed you that at the beginning of how to find LHR, and Pearl, no. So, I've been getting 97.5 mega hash after memory pads on a 3080. I've heard people getting around 100. No, 99 is about right. 97.5, 99 is about right. Memory running at 87C. Should I adjust the overclock? If you can. The problem is like, say for example, my 3080 Ti, or 3080, not in Ti, is pushing about, I would say, what is it pushing? 1250 mem plus 1250 on the mem, and see how your temperatures do. You just want to keep those temperatures. 110 C is the junction temperature for memory. Just keep that in your mind for all the new GPUs. If you're hitting 110, you're going to hurt your card if you're sustaining those clocks and those temperatures and those voltages. So you want to stay away from it. If thermal pads will help you do that, great. Get some thermal pads on there. 94 would be the max that I would say that you can see. Make sure you upclop your fan or RPM and go from there. Thank you, Tech Shinji, for the $10. I really appreciate. And I didn't say wrong stream to you. What it was is I felt that the individual asking questions of Red Panda on your stream was kind of void. I mean, I guess you answered it and handled it quite well, but I mean, it felt like they meant to put that on Red Panda stream, but was using you to answer their question. I just didn't. That's why I put that in there. If you're gonna ask one of our crypto colleagues a question, at least this is my feeling, and I could be completely wrong. Tech Shinji is such a loving individual. But if you're going to ask questions of, Tech Shinji Red Panda on my stream, I would feel better if they were here with me, because I don't want to answer on their behalf. Maybe I might say something wrong, provide misinformation. And if I ever do, I always love constructive criticism. You're more than welcome to call me out. Just be respectful about it, and then I will make it up to you guys. So 5700 XT for the win, indeed, Camilla. So I've been looking. I actually grabbed a couple of more 5700 XTs. The pricing is getting better, but I'm on the fence right now as the 6700 XT has dropped in price. And GPU pricing is getting a little bit better, but for how long is the question. Like secondhand market, the 6700 XT was closer to $1,000, maybe like 9 something. And now they are dropping down in price. And what I like to do if you are trying to buy, search your local Facebook marketplace, search Craigslist, be careful who you meet in Craigslist. Always meet in a public center, public area, open area. Don't meet some guy in a dark alley in a trench coat trying to sell you a GPU. It's not going to end well. Just don't do it. But if you check, Craigslist in your local area, Facebook marketplace in your local area, or eBay, best thing you can do is search and sort by buy now, lowest first, and be careful with the lowest first, because some people are, to battle the scalpers, are putting up this card for $300 just to kind of drown the listings. But it's so hard to do because eBay will take you down. But just check the listings, make sure it's not broken, make sure it's if the deal's too good to be true, don't buy it. Or sort by auction and then ending soonest. The hard part about this is, for example, right here, the 6700 XT is at $900. What's going to happen in 54 minutes is there's going to be 5 to 10 people all bidding in that last 30 seconds that may outbid you, and then the card is going to sell for $1,000 something, which I would not pay for. But you can keep an eye on things, hit the heart, add it to your wish list, and then your phone, if you have eBay on it, will send you a notification and kind of go from there. But sometimes to buy it now will be better than the auction listings and stuff like that. You just have to weigh out your pros and cons. I would still not spend the amount of money that it's showing here. But I've been looking at 5700s and trying to pick them up. Yeah, they only get 54 mega hash at about 120 watts, whereas the 6700 XT. Let's actually compare that, because I was talking about this a while ago. So if we bust out the calculator, it's all about the hash per watts, guys. So let's say we're getting 43 mega hash at, I think the 6700 XT can get down to almost 90 watts. I'm going to say 95. That's 0.45 efficiency, whereas the 5700 XT can get about, let's say, 115. That's 0.46. So they're about on par, which is why I'm leaning more towards the 6700 XT. And with the 5700, it all comes down to the mem mods and adding thermal pads, which I've done to all my cards. I've added thermal pads on each of my cards to help them out with thermals. It sucks that the new, 6600 XT does not have memory thermal sensors. I haven't hooked up my K-type thermocouples to it yet, but it would be nice to see the memory temperatures on that card as we do some overclocking and some testing. So Deadbite asks, do you think Newegg and Amazon hide behind the marketplace seller accounts to get away with scalping without tarnishing their image? 100% correct. 100% correct. And Ava. The 6600 XT is even more efficient than the two that I just mentioned, but I'm comparing those two because they're more like to like, right? They're about the same price as far as scalper pricing or on the secondhand market. They're about the same price. The 6700 XT gets less hashes but better efficiency, while the 5700 gets more hashes at a little bit less efficiency. So you got to weigh out the pros and cons. On top of that, you know, you got to take into consideration power. You know, does your 110 outlet, can it support all of these cards, so on and so forth. I'm just adding to what I do love, and I have a video coming about it in the future, is now, in the past, you could not mix AMD 6000, 5500 series GPUs. You could not do that. Everybody's like, oh, mine's working perfectly. Yeah, now. Why now? Well, AMD drivers have been constantly being updated, and minor developers have improved or updated their drivers and kernels and stuff like that. But in the beginning, when these cards first came out, specifically the 6700 XT and the 6800 XT, the minor devs did not update yet. Drivers were crap because AMD drivers are crap. It's just they do get better over time. And I could not run multiple GPUs from different generations. Like Nvidia, my Nvidia system, I just pop a new GPU in there, boom, good to go. Still running the dev driver, 3060 is working, getting 50 mega hash, no problem. 3060 Ti, 3070, 3080, the 1660 Ti's and Supers, the 2080, the 1080 Ti, all of them are working in unison to one common goal, one common mission, getting the job done, no problem. Slap it on there, good to go. But when AMD, oh, add a new card, now I gotta update drivers, now I gotta do this, now I gotta do that. It's not as fluent, it's not as easy, but you can make it work if you're willing to put in the time, do some tuning on the more power tool or the RBE, the red BIOS editor. Yeah, you can make these cards super great. But going back to Deadbyte's question, I mean, it's very disappointing, honestly. It's very disappointing to see what Newegg is allowing. But what are we going to do about it? Like, honestly, what are we going to do? Nothing. We can't do anything. It sucks. It really sucks. But what we see here with these graphics cards is, if we let's go ahead and choose some options here. So we're gonna go. Honestly, you know what? Hang on one second. I want to see how much the Vega is. Wow. Wow. Vega 64, $1,400. Sold and shipped by CNOW. Let me see. Am I in the way? Yeah, it's right below me. CNOW. And yeah, so the manufacturers are hiding behind, but these are really old cards. All right, let's give Newegg a chance. All right, let's go 3000 series and 6000 series. Let's apply. Okay, so we got 3080 non-TI being sold for $1,900. It's sold by League of Legends. It is sold by League. Their name is League of Legends. All right, let's go look at this ASRock. This one is sold by Newegg, but $1,799.99, so $1,800. What is the 6900 XT MSRP launch? I believe it's about that, right? $1,500, so $1,500. So it's $200 over MSRP. Newegg knows that, and Newegg knows the scalper pricing, and they're making a profit too. So don't think it's just these vendors, these third-party vendors that Newegg is hiding about. No, Newegg is getting in the game too. Right? Newegg is trying to sell these cards. Like, all right, Newegg is selling a 6700 at $900, right? So again, 6700 XT MSRP at launch. You know, considering it's an AIB partner, yada yada yada, we give a little bit of leeway. Let's say 550, right? 550 somewhere in there for the 6700 XT at launch MSRP. Newegg selling at $900. So Newegg sees, okay, well, look at the scalper prices for this. All right, well, we don't want to sell that high because then we're going to offend our clients or our reoccurring customers, but we do want to make a profit. So we're going to sell it at $200 over MSRP. So Newegg is not shy to let their third-party vendors make a killing, but they are not shy to make a killing themselves. And it sucks. It sucks. It really does. But this is the market that we're in. We got a high demand, low supply type of situation that people are trying to take advantage or capitalize on, right? Keyword is capitalize. And It's all about finding the cards that fit your budget price range and has the metrics you want. What I mean by metrics is, are you really trying to get an LHR card or a non-LHR card? If you are and you don't know which one's which, do what I showed you at the beginning of the stream, which is if you find it on the secondhand market or even on Newegg or whatever, grab the serial or MPN or model number and go look at the vendor website, and it will tell you if it's LHR or not. Then you can make a determination from there. Yes, it takes more work on your part. Tech Shinji has a great amount of information on LHR cards and comparison of the two. He let me test an LHR or a TI model LHR card, and we did the comparison. Now, the biggest thing is, yeah, Ethereum may be handicapped, but the other algos may not be as handicapped or as, keyword, as handicapped. I believe Ergo started bumping into some issues, but don't worry, give it time. By the time Ethereum goes away, other cryptocurrencies will take its place. Now, the thoughts on the 1660 Ti and the Supers. If you look at the thumbnail for this video, I actually have in my main Nvidia rig, I have two 1660 Supers and one 1660 Ti. All of them are getting around 28 to 30 mega hash, around 90 watts or less. They are perfectly good cards. The biggest thing is can you find them right now, secondhand, at a good price? And I did a build video on this. and it is an option that you can choose, right? So think about this. The 1660 Super is getting 28 to 30 mega hash around 90 watts, while the 6600 XT, a newer card, which is close in the same price bracket, is getting about 31 to 32 mega hash, but about 75, 80 watts. So they're very similar. Yeah, the 6600 XT beats the 1660 Super and Ti as far as efficiency in mining, but because they're in the same price bracket, you technically could be like, all right, well, I can't get the 6600 XT, so let me turn around and get the 1660 Super. The problem is making sure, again, that you find the card that fits your budget, right? Now, if you're getting somewhere in the 400s or lower, that might be a steal of a deal. If you find it in somebody's garage, you know, grandma's selling her grandson's system or something like that, and you can find a card and a motherboard and everything to start your mining rig, that's a good deal. And I talked about, instead of buying a motherboard brand new, you could technically take an old LGA 775 found in an HP or Dell or something and use U-Bits adapters to split the PCIe connection and have at least a 6 GPU rig up and running. Demon Slayer asks, are FE cards LHR? So the 3070 and the 3060 Ti Founders Editions are not, but I believe the TIs and above are, except for the 3090. If you do some quick research, that like it actually there's an actual article that tells you what's LHR or not. But yeah, the Founders Edition original 3060 and 3070 Ti are not LHR, but the TIs and the AIB models of the 3060 Ti and 3070 are LHR. That made any sense because I just confused myself there. My bad. All right, so 2080 runs Kapow, 32 mega hash. How can I get 50? What? 2080 Ti runs. Yours is only running at 32 mega hash. How can I get 55 mega hash? You could be power throttling your card, bud. So if we look at a 2080 Ti here on what to mine, it says that it's using plus 100 on the core, plus 200 on the mem, but the TDP is higher. If you have your TDP set like to 65 or something like that, you could be power throttling your card. You're going to draw more power mining Kapow than Ethereum, but you should be right where you should be. That's like, why are you saying 55 mega hash? How can I get, what? You get 55 mega hash on Ethereum, you can't get 55 mega hash on a 2080 Ti mining Kapow though. But play around with your settings. You know, what is the TDP at? If I'm at 70% TDP, all right, I'm going to bump up the TDP or power limit, really, up to 75. All right, I'm going to adjust the core up and I'm going to adjust the memory down. More core-intensive workloads care about your core clocks more than your memory. While memory may help, it's all about the core. Whereas on Ethereum, the core does play a small role, but it's all about the memory. So you try to boost your memory as high as you can get without artifacting or anything like that. If you do artifact, then you start backing it down. If you crash, then you back it down. And you do increments of 5, 10, 20, whatever it is to get to that that fine-tuned nature. And once you have everything fine-tuned, you really can just set up profiles in your MSI Afterburner or even in Hive OS, so that way it can automatically load up what you want. The sellers are Newegg pretending to be a third. That's a good point. Deadbite, going back to the Newegg thing, is saying that the sellers are Newegg, right? So League of Legends and the other third-party sellers that we're seeing selling at these crazy prices, is Newegg pretending to be a third party selling at these AMBs? I would not put it past them. I would not put it past them. Again, to make money, to make their because what Newegg stocks is selling, right? So now they gotta make their shareholders happy. That's why they're going into the automotive market and stuff like that. Like Newegg has expanded so much from way back in the day. It's absolutely nuts. I mean, flowers, toys, accessories, health and sports, automotive, like it's crazy. Seb from FinTech is in here. What's up, buddy? Appreciate you hanging out. I really love your channel. I really love what you do. Absolutely amazing. So yeah, Ergo is still a bit funky on LHR cards. That's what I thought. That's what I heard, at least. I don't have an LHR card. All my cards are OG edition. Got that OG stuff, OG creds. So you're answering some questions. Midwest Miner is not worth it if you're after efficiency, but if you just want higher hash rate, it does work. All right, cool. You're answering some people's questions. Sweet. All right, so let's see here. Paul Daughtry is getting 33 to 34 mega hash on Capal. That's about right for the 28 Ti. Good. So after Seb's video, says S. Afanas, I've BIOS mod my 1660 Supers EVGA Hynix with MSI BIOS and it works. Yeah. So be careful with BIOS modding, but if you bump into somebody like Seb, who knows what they're talking about and has practiced on their own hardware, then there's no reason why you wouldn't trust a person. But you always want to be precautious. You always want to make sure you're backing up. Like, you know, use GPU Z to make sure you're backing up if your card has a dual BIOS or something like that. Make sure you're backing up. Hit the save the file, yada, 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 stuff like that. And I'm about to crash my live stream because it's trying to save while I'm live streaming. Let's see if it crashes. Will it crash? But you hit save the file, give it a name, and then you're good to go. Oh, it's looking choppy. It's looking choppy. Oh, did I crash my stream? Okay, no. Okay. You don't want to be using your GPU while you're trying to save the BIOS, just FYI. It's okay. It's AMD. It's AMD. I got backups. What motherboard would I want to use if I'm running 6700 XTs? Well, how many 6700 XTs are you running, Cody? Like how many 6700 XTs? So it depends on the number of cards you have, right? So let's do a quick build. Let's do a quick build. Yeah, I like that. Let's do a quick build. PC part picker. Now, yes, this is for traditional gaming systems. I understand. Whatever. Cool. All right. So we already got an LGA 1200 CPU here because they're less expensive than older stuff. Let's go look for a motherboard, right? So if you're building a rig, you can get new or old. Now I have an old LGA 775 on standby for whatever. If you have an old motherboard that you can use, great. The number of lanes is dependent upon the CPU and the chipset on the motherboard, but most of the boards from LGA 775 and up can get away with it. I know a couple of H81s kind of like in that Ivy Bridge era had issues, like you can only do 7 GPUs or 6 GPUs, and then there was some hack flags trick where we can get 8 GPUs working and stuff like that. Yeah, it's not going to be a B250 with 19 cards, but you can get, you know, a generic motherboard. All right, let's say like something cheap and dinky like this right here, right? Let's actually go to Newegg, see if we can zoom in a little bit better. All right, something cheap and dinky like this, and You know, you got everything you basically need, 2 DIMMs, but then you only have 1 PCIe by 16 and 1 by 1. The good thing is you can split this by 1 into 4 USB to connect to risers, and then you can also split the by 16 into 1. So that's a total of 8 cards on this one motherboard. But then you also have the U.2 port right here, which if you get that adapter, that's another card. So technically we could probably get 9. When will all 9 work at the same time? That's a good question. On top of that, because this U.2 shares lanes with a SATA, what are you going to use for storage? Well, now you got to make sure that you're connecting to a SATA port. Like these two right here probably connect to this U.2 or share lanes with this M.2. I keep saying U.2. It's M.2. So you might have to connect here, but you get yourself a little cheap 240 gig SSD. Boom, connected down here. You got 2 U-bit adapters. Probably get 3 in case one is DOA. Now you got 4 connections for 8 GPUs, and then M.2. Now you got 9, but you're probably just gonna stick with 8 or 6 or less. But for 6700 XT, the motherboard isn't as important as you know, the main frame of what you're putting it in. Are you going to put it on a computer case? You're going to put it in a milk crate? Are you going to build your own custom frame out of it? It's going to be wood and metal. So you want to figure out your foundation. Your foundation is your frame. How much space do I have? Do I have enough space between each card? Am I putting it in a server case? Do I have the fans? If every card is this close to each other, do I have the fans or the air, the static air pressure to get the air through each card if they're that close? Like that, you want to start with your foundation, then your motherboard, then your CPU, and then, all right, I can support this many GPUs. What do I want to fill this rig up with? And then kind of go from there. That's the way I do it, but other people may think differently. So, let's see. Did I answer your question, or did I just go way around it? I probably went way around it, but it's okay. All right, so, man, you guys are moving faster than I can keep up. Whoopsie. RX. Okay, 6700. Jesus. Loves me. What motherboard? Okay, Cody, did I answer your question? I was trying to find out who said that. Because you guys are asking questions but not tagging me, so I gotta like look through all this stuff. Explained by the... Okay, that's a good question. Let's go to this guy right here. Let me mute this tab real quick. And we're going to wrap up the stream here in about 20 minutes or so. Hey, Google Domains. They're not a bad provider. Not sponsored or anything like that. But, all right. So, here I am in my army shirt. That's all stained from all the work and sweat and stuff like that. So, here's the U-bit adapter, okay? The U-bit adapter connects. This slot right here is a by 1, PCIe by 1. This connects to any slot that's by 1 or higher. So, by 1, by 4, by 16. Now, if you were running a 3060 on this mining rig, it would have to be connected to the by 16. Therefore, you would lose the capability of running multiple cards in that by 16 slot for the motherboard that we looked at. Let me go back to it. Sort. And you could go, like, these are all micro ATX. We could go, boom, like this. We could go with Big Boy and get more slots and stuff like that. Now we have more capabilities. But basically... you take one of these by 1 slots and you get 4 USB, so 4 GPU riser connections out of this one slot. The problem with that is if I try to put U-bit adapters in every single one of these, I may run out of PCIe lanes. I may run out of the capability of running it, especially because some of these lanes may share with one another, right? So if I had 2 GPUs in here, like by 16 full length, full slot cards in here, that's going to take 8 and 8. Now it depends on how many do I have in the CPU and how many do I have in the chipset. That's an even deeper question, right? And this is going to get very complicated, but you guys got to keep up. If you want to find that out, 9 times out of 10, what you can do is you can look up your CPU, right? And there's usually an ARC website or an ARC link somewhere, if I can find it. I guess they don't have ARC anymore. Okay. So what we're looking for here is PCIe lanes. It's too late, baby. I'm live streaming. How long until you get home? Hello? I can't hear you. I'm live streaming, though. I'll see you in a little bit. Love you. So with this CPU, I have 16 lanes just off the CPU. And then it comes down to, all right, well, what does the motherboard support? What do I get with the motherboard? You should be good with a traditional 8 GPU, maybe 6 GPU. Like on a micro ATX, maybe 6 might be the max, but I've done 8 before. On a micro ATX, 6 to 8. On a regular ATX, you might be able to get 8 to 10, maybe 8 to 12, if the splitters work and if the splitters allow you to split out that connection. However, I just seen people just grab a bunch of H110s, which have multiple by one slots next to each other, or the B250, and have 19 stackable GPUs and stuff like that. But you could get away with this motherboard or the one I showed previously and get a 6 GPU rig up and running. You can, like I said, do it with an LGA 775. But you're basically taking this by one slot and you're splitting it out with the U-bit adapter. Now, I like U-bit, I like S-Union, but there's a lot more that has come out now. And I don't know if I want to go to this website because you guys are here. I don't want you guys to see my location. Let's see here. So PCI. There we go. Sorry. So I've never heard of XT X-Night. This one, I don't even know the brand name. Like, this one I've seen used before, so some people use this as well. But really, it's these adapters that I'm talking about. And then the M.2 ones are pretty similar as well. I've seen S-Union use this as well. This is pretty cool. But I haven't seen, I'm not sure if this board has been used with the 3060. Because remember, the 3060 requires a full-length slot. Not the riser connection. And, and as soon as it breaks off to the USB and is connected via PCIe by one, it's not going to work. You need the full-length slot, which is why these super long motherboards are made. And I actually have a video on the new ASRock super long, supports up to I think six GPUs. I have a video coming out about that soon, so hang tight for that. And I just wanted to talk about some of its capabilities and features. But I hope that answers your question about what that splitter is. So they are iffy, Camille, which is why I get 3, right? If I need 2, I get 3. If I need 3, I get 4. Because 9 times out of 10, they'll come DOA. And on top of that, this chip that's right here in the middle that has this little baby heatsink can actually cause issues or just not work at all. Thank you for becoming a member, Christopher. Palazzo. Did I say that correctly? Palazzo. Sounds Italian. Alright, so I use one riser into one slot. Dude, my U-bit adapter's still going. It's on the AMD system right now. Just FYI. Alright, so let's see here. Chump Change joined in. I thought you were doing stuff. I thought you had stuff to do. So Demon Slayer, PCIe lanes come from the CPU, right? But what about X570, baby? What about X570? That's my wife coming in. Alright, so we're going to wrap up the stream here. So AMD chipsets actually, and even some of the older gen chipsets did provide PCIe lanes. And that's why you can run multiple devices. The problem is you really want like your GPU and your main hardware to be connected to the CPU PCIe lanes, not the chipset. Because then you can have an impact in performance and delays and stuff like that. But I'm going to get ready to get out of here, guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. The U-bit adapter has to go in a specific slot. Yeah, it goes in the by one slot. So it can go in any one of these right here. By 16, by 1. There's by 4, which is just a little bit longer. It can go in any one of these. So, yeah. No, I'm getting ready to go. My wife just came in. I'm going to spend some time with her, get some food. I just wanted to catch up with you guys. I know a lot of people are asking questions about thermal pads and LHR. Make sure you talk to Tech Shinji. He talked about that topic in great detail. Has some great content about LHR versus non-LHR. And I just talked about at the beginning of the stream. If you haven't, just rewatch it. Basically, if the seller is selling you a card and you can't tell if it's LHR or non-LHR because it doesn't have it in the packaging and the seller did not put it in the description, you want to go look for the serial number or model number or part number or whatever. Look it up in Google. Go to the manufacturer's website and be like, okay, is it not? Okay, but the pricing is really going to depend upon you, your budget, and what you want to do. But that is going to be it for me today. Thank you so much for watching. Please do me a favor on the way out. Hit the like button. Don't forget to hit subscribe and hit the notification bell for all my people watching in the future. And take care of yourselves. Thank you for stopping by. That's what the channel is all about. Cryptocurrency, tech teardowns, and much more. Take care, guys. Bye.